Welcome back to Inside the 12. Here to get us caught up to speed. Let's welcome her in right now. First time this year, feels like it's been too long. We're going long distance because she used to dial from long distance. Rachel Galligan joining us now, Big 12 Women's Hoops Insider. She's got a Big 12 game coming up a little later in the day. Rachel, thank you so much for spending some time with us this morning.
Man, I'm so thrilled to be here. It's good to see you, Pete.
It's great to see you too. Now, let's talk about the Big 12. Their strong play in the non-conference began in the City of Lights, Baylor against Duke in Paris, and that lit the way for a lot of success in the non-con, specifically against the ACC. What can you tell us about this early success?
Well, the Big 12 is 8-4 versus ACC opponents so far this season. And like you said, it was Baylor who really set the tone when they beat number 7 Duke in Paris. West Virginia followed that up a week later, also earning a big win over then number 15 Duke. And then 2 days later, the Big 12 preseason favorite TCU beat then ranked number 10 NC State in Raleigh. You know, it's important to note the Big 12 holds a 6-4 record over the Big 10 as well. Iowa State beat number 11 Iowa just a week ago in Ames. Audie Crooks dropped 30 points and shot 65% from the floor in that game.
Let's transition into Audie Crooks and what Iowa State is doing this year. They are one of the top teams headed into conference play. Who else? First of all, I guess, give me a little more on Iowa State and then tell me who else is a top team as we head into conference play.
Well, the Cyclones have been really impressive. And like you said, it starts with the nation's leading scorer, Audie Crooks, who's averaging 27.8 points per game, shooting 72% from the field, which is second in the country. They have the 5th ranked offense in the nation, averaging 92.8 points per game. Addie Brown and Jada Williams both play really big roles in that production. They're 4th in the country in field goal percentage and 2nd in the country in assist to turnover ratio. And then I have to talk about TCU. Where do I even start? The best part about TCU is their ability to get it done on both ends of the floor. We know they have one of the most dynamic offenses in the country, led by Olivia Miles and Marta Suarez, who just became the 2nd pair of teammates to post a triple-double in the same game in NCAA Division I history. You heard that right. Oh, and Olivia Miles has 3 straight triple-doubles, which has only happened 3 times in NCAA history. But honestly, what's most impressive, TCU leads the country in scoring defense, allowing just 49 points per game.
Yeah, defense is going to have to travel in this league, right, especially as we get into conference play. I want to back up real quick to Iowa State. You mentioned Jada Williams. She is just electric. To watch her at Arizona was just, I was spellbound, and now to see her at Iowa State, I feel like she brings a little bit of grit and swagger to this Cyclones ball club. Would I be correct in saying that?
Oh, I think you nailed it on the head. She's been fantastic, and I think she's playing with a renewed sense of confidence. She's putting up the best assist numbers of her career, and you can just tell she is having so much fun out there on the floor.
All right, how about some matchup previews? You mentioned we get into conference play. Actually, before we get to the matchups, I'm getting ahead of myself. I want to get your surprise team in non-conference play. Somebody's going to come out of the darkness here. That always happens, right, when we get into the thick of Big 12 on Big 12. Who have you seen so far that gives you an indication they could be that team?
Well, I have to mention Texas Tech. Krista Gerlich has done a fantastic job with the Lady Raiders so far this season. They're off to a 12-0 start. They've got a ton of depth offensively, led by Bailey Maupin, Jalen Bristow, and Snetta Collins. It's the job they've done on the defensive end that has impressed me the most, allowing just 52 points per game, which ranks 12th in the country. And they've got a 3-0 record versus Power 4 opponents in the non-conference. And then real quick, just Oklahoma State. They've been made for TV. They've scored over 100 points 5 times this season, including a program record for points in a game on December 6th when they dropped 133 points against Mississippi Valley State.
Wow. How about when you talk about Krista Gerlich, by the way, with Texas Tech? I love coaches that have been around for a while, have a pedigree. They're the ones you got to keep an eye on, right? The ones who, when we get into the thick of it, their teams kind of find a way and they're standing when we get to March.
Well, and they're just playing with so much urgency right now. And I think it really starts from the top with Krista Gerlich. You know, she knows this program. She's obviously deeply invested in this program, and she's done a phenomenal job building out a tremendous staff this year that's really helped this team.
All right, let's look forward now to some huge games this weekend. We've talked about Iowa State. They host Kansas. That's Sunday, 1 Eastern time on ESPN2. Take us inside that matchup.
I mean, Kansas is much improved from last season. Samaya Nichols is one of the most impressive scoring and facilitating guards in the country, averaging 20 points and 5 assists per game this season. I'm really excited to see how they're going to fare against the top 10 ranked Cyclones. And then the other one I want to mention is Baylor versus Texas Tech on Sunday. It's an in-state battle. It is Texas Tech's first ranked matchup, which will be a great measuring stick, not just for the Lady Raiders, but for Baylor, who's going to be looking to make a statement in the state.
All right, Rachel Galligan, thank you so much. We've got plenty more coming up with you this whole season. Where can people find you?
You can find me on X, just at RachGal. I'm constantly tweeting about the Big 12 and all the great action that's going on.
A great follow. All right, keep shooting. We'll get back with you in a little bit.
See you guys.
Rachel Galligan with everything we need to know as we get set to start this Big 12 women's hoop season. When we come back, we're going to take you inside some of the biggest matchups in college basketball this week. We're just outside of New York in Brick City, Houston and Arkansas. Then we go into the city, Duke and Texas Tech, and out west, Stanford and Colorado.